What is going on, guys? It is Adam, aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. This is a live call-in show, and man, do we have a show planned for you today. We're going to be right back right after our disclaimers, and oh man, get calling 224400-MARF. We'll be right back. All right, just so you guys know, nothing in this show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone else with the show, and you should always do your own research and consult with professionals. Everything is online, so again, the internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. With that out of the way, if you are not getting notifications by YouTube or DLive or any of these other jokers over here, make sure to go get ours. You can actually get notifications from us, push notifications, at marfooglenews.com. Just go and look for that red bell. Now, if you don't see that red bell, you might see a little white box that says, would you like to accept notifications from marfooglenews.com? The purpose of that is so we can send you notifications when we live and when we send out articles, which again, our articles and our alerts are through that same website, marfooglenews.com. Now, if you want to follow along, we're going to be going over a lot of articles. We're going to be bringing in callers. Of course, any video, tweet, any article that we have here today is actually backed up with a bibliography on our website. So we take the time before every single show to make sure that we have a website with all sorts of links. Any kind of backup to what we are saying is going to be right here. It says, will we go like the dinosaurs? You'll see that we have it organized by thumbnail. You'll see this thumbnail, and then you will go and click, and you'll see that we have every single tweet, every single video, every single caller on here. In fact, the callers will be at the very bottom. That is updated live. Speaking of updated live, let's bring in Dex. He's my co-host, and he is going to be the one screening calls and updating the website live with breaking news. Dex, what is going on? Can we get a sound check?
Hello, Adam, and hello, Foogle fam.
So not only that, we still have a pretty big thing that we are working on right now. We are close to saying some stuff about that. In fact, if you guys want to help us out in any way, you can always go to the website as well. On the right side of most of these pages, you can see any of the affiliates we work with. All right, we'll talk about that later, though. Let's get straight into the news. There is a lot to go over. And man, oh man, do we have some really, really weird stuff here. Okay, so first off, NASA spacecraft to touch down on asteroid Bennu in October sampling maneuver. So what they're doing is they're going to land on the asteroid and take a small sample, and they've done this like 3 or 4 times in the last 5 years, not just us, but other countries. And this is one of those big ones. Why are they doing it, though? That's my question. It says the U.S. National Aeronautics and Space Administration, never a straight answer, is on the verge of pulling off its first attempt at landing spacecraft on an asteroid with the highly anticipated October touchdown on asteroid Bennu. It says the spacecraft in question is the OSIRIS-REx, which I've covered since the inception of even thinking about it. Which was launched into the cosmos September 2016, placed on a trajectory that allowed the craft to reach near-Earth asteroid Bennu in 2018. So one thing to think about is some of our previous shows, how we've covered all of the different missions. Of course, Japan has... I'm trying to think of Japan's, if you want to put that in chat. Japan has their own... I don't know why I'm blanking on that. But again, they have their own where they smashed into the asteroid. Dex, do you remember what the Japan mission was where they smashed into the comet and they were doing all sorts of tests? And they actually grabbed a sample. It was just recently. We covered it multiple times. For some reason, I'm not thinking straight. That's all right. Anyways, so again, I'll end up pulling it up later. The spacecraft in question, this OSIRIS-REx, is going to be doing this, and why is it doing it in the first place? It is my opinion and many others, which you won't hear this on mainstream media, is that there is something bigger heading towards us. Now, I have many reasons I think this. I don't just think this and have nothing to back it up. I think that there's a lot of weird stuff that has been happening, from them doing simulations of New York being hit, from University of Glasgow basically saying that, yes, we can actually direct asteroids to hit a specific place. And then the formation of Space Force, that was right before they ended up doing the Doomsday Presidential Alert Test across the country. And then, of course, you had the Sunspot Observatory and other observatories closed down around the world. See, nobody thinks about, it wasn't just Sunspot, it was 6 other major observatories, and we're supposed to believe that they're all involved in this child thing. So apparently observatories are where, these guys hide out. That would be about the last place that you would find them, you would think to find them, but I guess that's the case, right? That was the official narrative. That's why they had to bring in Apache and military helicopters in to swoop in on this observatory, and then also evacuate everyone within like 4 blocks of this observatory in this little village thing. They went to every single house, said, hey, do you know this guy? Have you spoke to this guy? Have you ever heard him? Ever had lunch with him? They went and actually talked to all these different people. We even had somebody call in that lived just a few miles away, and they said that they like spread out and they questioned everybody. Sounds to me like maybe that observatory possibly discovered something, but that's my opinion. Again, that's not backed up by fact. The fact will tell you that Sunspot Observatory closed down because there was something on his hard drive, but yet we haven't really heard anything more about it. So people go, oh, that's gross. We all hate that. Everybody agrees, and then they move on. In that same time period, we had all sorts of things going on with Russia. I actually put out 2 years ago, even before Dex was with me, I talked about that Russia and China were weaponized and DEW weapons in space. And I actually have proof. People say, oh, yeah, sure you did. But we have proof. I talked about it, and I said in the next couple of years, we'll find out that they have weapons in space. Then, of course, a couple weeks ago, DOD, Department of Defense, said we indeed have Russia and China have now turned space into a non-peaceful arena with directed energy. So obviously we had our sources right. Obviously, the people we were talking to were right. And now that we're here, it doesn't really matter because now everybody just accepts it. Once they announce something like that, for a couple days, it's a cycle on Twitter, a couple little stories about it, and then people go, oh, that's just what it is now. But this is a big deal. This is lasers in space. This is stuff that we can't see. Weapons that we don't, these are blameless weapons as far as a regular civilian is concerned. And say if there is something that can be in space and cause a fire on the ground, that's pretty scary. And then, of course, we have all of these random things happen, explosions, fires, all that. And I'm not saying that any of the current events are related to that. Of course, you can come to your own conclusion. But again, all of this stuff very well could be kind of the shot over the bow, or I guess the first strike. You never know. But with all of that being said, I have also covered HAMMER, Hypervelocity and Asteroid Mitigation Emergency Response Vehicles, which is essentially a nuke on a rocket. OSIRIS-REx and HAMMER and all of these different missions all came out of nowhere about 2 years ago. Around the same time, it was July, August, September of 2018 is when all that weird stuff went down. At the very beginning of 2018, of course, we had that false missile alert in Hawaii. That year was one of the most wild years ever. I mean, people say 2020 was crazy. They just weren't paying attention in 2018. It says, NASA noted on a Thursday news release that the Touch and Go tag sampling event would see the probe land on the Nightingale site, a rocky area in the asteroid's northern hemisphere that measures about 52 feet in diameter. It says Site Nightingale was selected as the mission's primary sample site because it holds the greatest amount of unobstructed fine-grained material. But the region was surrounded by building-sized boulders, reads the NASA release, noting that the probe will be landing in an area roughly the size of just a few parking spaces. Now, one thing I would ask you guys to do right now, if you can, What is Nightingale, if there's any significance? Does anybody know off the top of your head if Nightingale has any kind of historical meaning, right? This is the landing spot. It's called Nightingale, Site Nightingale. I bet you there's something weird there. Just a guess. It says, in total, the sample collection is expected to last about 4.5 hours. However, the majority of the time, 4 hours, will see the probe undergo its first stages of its downward trajectory. So for 4 out of 4.5 hours, it's going to be going down. And then, of course, it says before descending at a steeper angle for some 11 minutes, and then firing thrusters to slow its descent. Once OSIRIS-REx touches down on Bennu's surface, it will only spend a total of, get this, 16 seconds on the rock before firing up its thrusters and place it a safe distance away from Bennu. Now, some would say this is probably billions of dollars to go and touch a rock and grab a little piece of it, right? Why is this little piece that important that they are sending something out to it, hitting it, grabbing a sample, bringing it back? That's the question I'd ask you. All the millions of dollars, the thousands of people involved in this mission, why? Well, the public reason, they're trying to get information about it. They could gain information about the beginning of our civilization or rocks or whatever. This is all the stuff they say, right? But again, a lot of this stuff has been talked about in the White House. In fact, they've had meetings. They've had closed-door meetings. Cobra has had meetings. You're talking about all of these main, the defense secretaries have all had meetings about asteroids. Because asteroids, if you are in the state of mind, I know that some of our audience does not believe space exists. Again, that's fine. We can all have our own opinions. But again, if this is the case, they are spending a lot of time and a lot of money into asteroids and to prevention and to possible missions to try to figure out how to get asteroids to go somewhere else. We already know that they are able to now get asteroids to hit us. That sounds crazy, but again, the University of Glasgow actually was doing research, and now this is a fact. These countries now have the ability, with special equipment or special way they do it, would be able to hit an asteroid big enough to actually get through our atmosphere, small enough to not do major disaster, and have it land somewhere where they can then retrieve. I covered back a while ago, in fact, off the Washington coast, they had, I believe, one land. What they said is they were trying to collect a special asteroid, and they took over the whole town, I think of Grays Harbor, might have been Ocean Shores and the surrounding town. FBI, CIA, NSA, and NASA were all there in that town. The town had nothing more exciting. A lot of the people were like, we couldn't believe it. All these people are here. And they were looking out in the water for a special asteroid. My guess, that was within a month of this new release of us figuring out that we could knock them into trajectory to land. I think that they were actually trying to recover one that they purposely had hit the water. If that's the case, think about how that could be weaponized. Think about how Space Force could weaponize that. Think about how Russia and China, which we now know is admittedly weaponized in space, how they could use that against their enemies. It's blameless. Oh, an asteroid hit. You can't really blame that. Even if 50,000 people have their cell phone cameras watch it hit, it's an asteroid. You can't really blame anybody. So with OSIRIS-REx, don't know why I'm blanking on that one. You guys probably saw it, said it above. The Japanese mission where they are doing this, Russia is doing missions. They also have a version of their hammer, a nuke on a rocket. They're all going overtime to try to figure this out. Then China's making a false moon and a false sun. It makes you think. Hayabusa, thank you, Dex. There's another one too. Japan has, I believe, two. But Hayabusa was the one that I was thinking of. Hayabusa, all of these different ones that they have. And what are they doing it for? I will stick to my opinion, which is I believe the people that we've talked to. I believe the woman that says they are putting massive, massive amounts. And I actually asked, I said, if you can prove me wrong without a shadow of a doubt that they are not putting millions and millions of dollars into debris cleanup, and we're talking about on a scale that is massive. I will correct myself. But this woman basically had audits the paperwork that goes through the financial stuff and said a lot of money was putting in debris cleanup, and what was mentioned was a Class 2 gas giant. What's a C2GG? Gas giant. C2 gas giant. Don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll eventually find out. And then we have a space rock skims Earth's atmosphere observed by the Global Meteor Network. It says in the early hours of 22 September over North Germany and the Netherlands, a meteoroid got down to 91 kilometers in altitude, far below orbiting satellites, before it bounced back into space. That is, of course, the video that they got, and as you can see, they've marked its trajectory as well. Pretty freaking cool. What's really weird, too, is how it goes up and then out. So apparently weird. And then going into it, if you want to see this video again, you can find this on marfooglenews.com. The link to this tweet, I should say, is on marfooglenews.com. And then we have, of course, a meteor shower, 2 full moons, and more to see in October's sky. I don't think there will ever be a shortage of things to see in the sky, especially from now out. As we said, and as the folks that even we had in our military that called in, over the next 3 years, things will double, triple, and quadruple. And now we are seeing that. Honestly, I think that if somebody actually went into the technicalities of that, that would be true. I for sure know that they're covering it hell of a lot more. It says October's crisp autumn nights will bring plenty for stargazers to see in the sky, ranging from a meteor shower to great views of the planets. But the top astronomy event of the month will come on the month's final night. It says no telescope is needed to see any of the 3 big events, but a sweatshirt and hat may be helpful as the nights gradually turn colder across the northern hemisphere. It says in addition to the events, the night sky in general may start to look more clear than it has during the summer months. Part of this due to the changing weather, as colder, less humid conditions provide better viewing conditions than hazy, humid summer nights. So number 1 is the Mars opposition. The red planet will outshine all of the other planets in the sky throughout October, appearing brighter than it has during any point dating back to July 2018. It says onlookers will be able to spot the planet with ease as it will be glowing orange, standing out among a sea of white stars. It will also appear in the east around sunset before climbing high in the southern sky by midnight, then gradually swinging into the western sky hours before sunrise. So we might be able to get some really, really cool shots of Mars during this night. I am most definitely probably going to be taking or doing an early show so I can make this. I'm going to get my telephoto lens and try to get shots of this. I actually have shots of Mars, pretty good ones actually, because it zoomed in. They're great, but on a night like this, I think that people with actual cameras, I have just a regular camera, they're going to get some spectacular shots. And then we have the 2, which it seems like there's one every week now, the Orionid. I never heard of this before this year, but I'm sure it's a once a year thing. It says one of the best meteor showers of the season is to set peak on the night of Tuesday, October 20th into the early hours of Wednesday, October 21st. It says the Orionids will feature about 20 meteors per hour on peak night, with the greatest number of meteors expected after midnight local time. It says, although this may not sound like a dazzling onslaught of shooting stars, it will be the last meteor shower for fair weather sky watchers in the northern hemisphere. So if you're up here and not down on the other side of the planet, it's your last chance to see shooting stars. And then, of course, we have the blue moon on Halloween. If that's not a spookier time to have one. It says that Halloween is shaping up to be different this year. It says, in more than one way. For the first time since 2001, 19 years, a full moon will fill the sky on Halloween night, illuminating neighborhoods for trick-or-treaters. This will be the second full moon of the month, giving it the title of a blue moon. The first full moon of the month falls on October 1st and will be called the harvest moon, the nickname given to the full moon closest to the autumnal equinox. Are you going to be sightseeing? I would love to have you comment in the chat. Are you going to be going and doing... are you going to be going out and seeing the stars? I'd love your comments on this. Again, we have a bunch of people in chat. Royston D, what is going on? Bold the Coffee, Gem, KGB Jesus. We've got Australian Patriot, Philbilly X, Royston, Sean Nathan, James 42, Lacey May, Donald Goodell, and Tall Drink of Water. Thank you guys for your support. Mama of 6, Johnny Doom, Christina V, Mersa 1, Shan 3, Nixter, and then we've got Eshatar and Sinzava. By the way, guys, if there's a troll in the chat, just ignore them, honestly. If people want to be jerks, then greet them. In fact, ask them how their day has been. Usually it's kicking the cat. If somebody doesn't know what kicking the cat is, explain it to them. In fact, some of our people that have been around for 3 years were trolls at one point. In fact, I could name a few, but I'm not going to, because then people will know that they were super trolls when they first came in. But the longer you stick around, the longer that we show you love. So remember that. D-Live, no, over on YouTube there is, but that's okay. Anyways, back on track. Teresa TLC, Vango 54, I Love Beagles. Thank you guys all for being here. Stormy 7572 will have eyes to the sky. I'm nerdy like that. I know you will, Stormy, and then a lot of other people too. I wonder if we can get somebody that actually has equipment to do some sort of live stream of that night. I think the at least the Mars night, that would be really awesome. And then Seraphina, thank you for your support over on YouTube. South Pole, thank you for following. Jenny Galos or Gachos, thank you as well. And then we have Keith Sabrin. Before we even started, did a super chat. It says, I didn't realize how busy Dex is until I called in last week. Talk about multitasking. God bless you, Dex, Adam, Mods, and Foogle fam. Yes, Dex always is doing a ton of stuff. In fact, Dex is probably one of the busiest retired guys you will ever meet. He's not technically retired anymore, but he's definitely one of the busiest guys we know. Luminous Bark, thank you. Bobby D, Shy the Coffee. We're going to get to our first caller. If you want to call in, our number is 224-400-MARF. Also, I am a bit tired, as you guys know. Mama's on bed rest, but I also posted on Twitter just to show you real quick. We actually had kittens. And I hope I actually posted this here. I don't know if I did tweet, did I? I've been tired. I was up all night last night, and I'll show you why. In fact, if you hear meowing, she's been really quiet right now. Maui, our cat, has been pregnant for the last 2 months. And this is kind of gross, but the mucus plug came out last night. I stayed up until 6 a.m. waiting for her to have babies, and then thought there was almost something wrong. Called the vet, and they said, oh, no, it could take up to 48 hours after that happens for it to have kittens. We've never had kittens before. So my Siamese actually just had the first one. This is a picture of it. Trying to suckle. Pretty awesome. And what's cool is Mom has 6 toes, which somebody said that means it's related or descended from Ernest Hemingway's cats. Don't know. We've actually had Muriel Hemingway, his granddaughter, on the show. I should ask her if that's like a thing. I know that the Siamese is such a cool cat. After 3 years of not getting it fixed, we thought that it just wasn't, there was nobody in the neighborhood with cats. So we just thought, oh, we'll get a kitten. So we got our kitten, Rosie. And then right when we got back, the cat, I picked it up and it was like, this cat is pregnant. Its back instantly filled out. It was heavier. It just started filling out. It was always a really tiny cat. And sure enough, it was pregnant. And then her things got bigger, everything else. And then last night, stayed up until 5:30 in the morning waiting and nothing happened. Then today, while I was making music, I had my earphones on, I took them off, and there was a little black kitten with 6 toes and white paws right next to her. Supposedly, there's supposed to be multiple. I don't know, though. It's been over an hour and a half since she had it, and she hasn't had any more. So I don't know if it's just one kitten. That's not... I always thought that they have 4 to 6 or whatever. So anyways, we might be giving away some kittens. Well, I know we can't... If there's more than a couple, then we can't keep them. We already have 3 cats. So anyways, that is why I am super tired. On top of that, Mom's on bed rest, so I can't... I've really got to take care of our 1-year-old and our 5-year-old. So I don't blame somebody for saying, oh, he looks like a crackhead or whatever. If they want to say something, then let them be. Let them hang out and let them see what the show's about. Show these people love. Again, you don't know what's going on in their life. They might be having a really, really rough life. All right. Halloween is shaping up to be different this year in more ways than one. Of course, we've got this blue moon, but also right before we get into our next call, I wanted to ask you guys a big question. Are you going to be letting your kids trick or treat this year? Are you going to be having them stay inside? Are you going to let them go out with conditions? What do you say? I'm going to be reading the chat here in a second. Dex, if you want to let the first caller in, which looks to be Up North Girl 7. And she has 2 videos for us to look at.
Hello.
Up North Girl, what is going on?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. What is going on?
Okay. Hi, Adam. I know you remember me from Discord. Jesus is the only way, and I'm Up North Girl. It's been a while since I've talked to you, but I have something very interesting to share, actually, a couple things. And they're more in their prophetic things, more for, what prophecy and prophetic is. Number one, I noticed a pattern starting on 1-2-3 of last year when COVID started here. And the Lord had been giving me the number 1-2-3 and 1-2-4. And he gave another lady a 1-2-4 as well, that I know that I follow on YouTube as well. But 1-2-3 started this cycle of 123 days. And I got some dates that lined right up with that. Are you still there?
We're all listening.
Oh, sorry. Well, I did notice that on 3/13, which was the day that Michigan got locked down, was also the date that Taylor lady from Louisville was killed by the popo. And then 73 days later was Mr. Floyd from Minneapolis. And between 1-2-3 and 5-2-5, which was Memorial Day, was exactly 123 days, exactly to the day. And then from that point to 9/23, which just was a couple days ago, the Revelation 12 sign 3-year anniversary was also 123 days exactly. So I don't know what all that means, but I did read Revelations 12 verse 3, which has something to do with the dragon waiting to persecute the man-child or something that was going to be born by the woman. The prophecy, the sign in the heavens that was on September 23rd, 2017. That has now been a 3-year time frame. And I'm going to relate this to your wife now because I just heard you're expecting a baby, and I want to say congratulations. But the woman, something I just figured out by the Lord is like pregnancy is 36 to 42 weeks. It has been exactly 36 months, which the Lord said is 36 weeks. The man-child, that prophecy of that woman clothed with the sun thing in Revelations 12, the 23rd of 2017 of 9/23 was not the day of the birth of the man-child. It was actually the conception. So I'm expecting anytime between now and roughly about 6 months from now that you're going to see a lot of things go crazy in the world, but at the same time that God's people are going to be receiving glory, and you're going to see an increase in miracles and all kinds of crazy good things for God's people. So
Well,
that's something.
Up north, girl.
Yeah.
So what you're talking about, a lot of people are, this is basically gematria. I've actually thought about having a couple of the YouTubers on that, do gematria. In fact, some people watch all of the gematria.
Well, this isn't really
YouTube.
gematria per se. It's more as prophetic numbers, Marfoogle. It's not the same. Although I do want to throw something out there.
I think they mix.
I know there are people within. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I think they mix. You'll see the gematria. They're basically that's a niche on YouTube.
Okay. There are people within the body of Christ, and I know there's some in the Marfoogle family because a bunch of them are on my Discord server, and they all kind of just got there. I don't know, between when you got taken down, I still have, a couple hundred people on mine, but it seems to be like people that are seeing repeating sets of numbers. One good place to look up if you're getting numbers is the Bible wheel, and the other thing is the Strong's Concordance, which is the number system for all the words in the Bible. And that is something that, and the Lord has also had me doing Bible word searches. If He gives me the word sword, I look up the Bible, on Google, and all the scriptures that have the word sword in them, and I get all kinds of things from that, just doing searches of words. It's a very, very good tool, and it's a good way that God speaks to me through that in the Bible. So the two videos that I've shared with you guys go into more depth on these time frames. And after that 1, 2, 3, there were 2 sets of 1, 2, 3. I also got I don't know if you know about Exalted Lamb, the guy who does the iPad Go video analysis is him. But he's got some things that kind of line up with what I've gotten as well, as far as the time frames of some of this stuff. You remember the Beirut thing that happened on 8/4 was also Obama's birthday. So there's a lot of interesting little correlations and things here with these dates I got. And there's no way I could have made all this happen. It just kind of happened, and then I got all that. So it's a pattern. Also, the 1, 2, 3, 2 cycles of that are now done, and 1, 2, 4 is God's time. So between now and the end of next May, there's going to be a lot of good things happening for God's people. I really believe. So it's kind of like the devil got his time, and now God's going to do his thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get some major stuff. So.
No, I agree with you.
Go ahead.
So I'm North Girl. Again,
and
there's people that know a lot more about the prophetic numbers than I do as far as that goes. I appreciate your call tonight. Is there one more thing that you want to say before you go? We'll make sure to link the Exalted Lamb and, of course, your channel on our website.
I had a vision of, if that's okay.
As long as it's under 30 seconds.
On 8/1.
I'm sorry?
It's going to take less than 30 seconds.
Okay, go ahead.
I said I had a vision of cardinals in a tree, and then I saw the cardinals were on the ground dead, and then I saw the tree chopped down, and 10 minutes later I had another vision, and I saw St. Louis, and I saw the arch, and I saw the river, the Mississippi River turn to blood, and I do not know if that's literal blood or just bloodshed. But the whole month of July, I kept seeing St. Louis and then Missouri, and I think we need to pray for that city because I think something bad's getting ready to happen there soon.
Hey, any kind of...
Anyways, that's all I got.
Any kind of prophetic word, put it out there because you never know if it's going to come true. Well, thank you again. That was... Again, let's go back so we can make sure to show you. Up North Girl 7. Up North Girl 7 has been around for a very long time. If you were around for the Discord days, she had one of the prayer groups. She had her own Discord, and of course, some of you are in her current Discord. So make sure to check her out. We'll put her link on marfooglenews.com. Okay, up next, we have, again, new measurements show that the moon has hazardous radiation levels. So as far as this goes, we found out a couple huge things about the moon. I don't know if you guys remember just last year in 2019, or was that even 2019? It might have been this year. We found out that the moon was technically still in our atmosphere. Now, that sounds crazy when you say it because you think, oh, the moon's here, basically. But our geocorona goes out past the moon. So there's actually, or they say, right? This is from data collected on a 30-year-old satellite. And I guess the data was just sitting there. I'll just show you real quick so I can reference this without sounding like an idiot. But apparently the moon is technically in our atmosphere, and there's oxygen around it that they might be able to extract. This is from what I've heard. Check this out. This is crazy. So a lot of people made a lot of noise when this came out. It says, surprise, Earth's atmosphere extends far beyond the moon. And then it explains that the geocorona actually goes about twice as far from the moon. Actually, way farther than the moon. See, this is the moon, and then the geocorona goes out to here. And then this was the SOHO, the SWAN instrument, of course, looking at it, and basically they found that out. It says a cloud of hydrogen atoms called the geocorona exists in Earth's atmosphere, bleeds into outer space. New research suggests that this cloud extends far beyond the orbit of the moon, reaching up to 400,000 miles away. And of course, our moon is just over 200. So everybody's screaming, guys, like, no, this is crazy. Like, they're just full of BS, like changing things on us, set up for later. And I actually, I don't know what to say about that. Were you surprised by that? When that came out, what was your comment about this? If you're watching the replay, put it down below in the comments. It says new measurements show the moon has hazardous radiation levels, and it says that the future moon explorers will be bombarded with 2 to 3 times more radiation than astronauts aboard the ISS. It says a health hazard that will require thick-walled shelters for protection. Scientists reported on Friday. It says China's lander on the far side of the moon is providing the first full measurements of radiation exposure from the lunar surface. Vital information for NASA and others aiming to send astronauts to the moon, the study noted. It says a Chinese-German team reported on the radiation data collected by the lander. It says named Chang'e 4 for the Chinese moon goddess. It says, quote, this is an immense achievement in the sense that we now have a data set which we can use to benchmark our radiation. And it says, and better understand the potential risk to people on the moon. So, Dex, I'm going to bring you in here real quick. Astronauts would get 200 to 1,000 times more radiation on the moon than what we experience here on Earth. Dex, isn't this kind of what, globe deniers actually say, is that out there people wouldn't be able to even get to the moon or get past the belt or you guys can... Do you know what I'm talking about, Dex?
Well, yeah, there's the Van Allen belts
yes.
that are out there that we have to, I guess technically we have to travel through to go to the moon, and it's full of radiation. But those belts, they form a certain donut shape. So there's a path you can take that supposedly is the least amount of radiation versus going straight through the heart of it, which would be the most amount.
So it's kind of like what you would think of a gyroscope, or like one of those gyroscope rides where the poles that hold it up are kind of separate. So what they say is when those are spinning, because they're kind of like hula hoops around the Earth, they can weave through them to avoid the Van Allen belt. That's what their explanation is, how they can get through it, right? So with radiation hitting the moon, how are we supposed to set up camp there? I guess that everybody's going to be in nuclear shelters if they live there. It doesn't make too much sense. And he's gone. That's all right. Well, anyways, what do you guys think about this? Do you think that this is another filler story that they just add on? It says the difference is, however, that we're not on such a flight for as long as astronauts would be when they're exploring the moon. As far as the amount of radiation we get when we experience it on Earth. It says, quote, humans are not really made for these radiation levels and should protect themselves when on the moon. Yeah, I see all these things that say that we're going to have tourism in space. In fact, they have this new ride or new place that you'll be able to stay. 400 people will be able to live in it. It's this huge ring, and you'll be able to experience anti-gravity basketball. We actually covered it the other night and showed you some of the pictures they have planned. And they say that as early as 2025 or something, they'll have tourists up there. And what they said their goal is to make it as affordable as staying at a resort or going to Disneyland. I don't know if we'll ever see that, but I wouldn't be surprised. And then we, of course, have a landmine detection rat wins top UK Animal Bravery Award. It says, heroes come in all shapes and sizes. A 5-year-old giant African pouched rat called Magawa, however, has to be one of the world's most unlikely lifesavers. It says the rodent has won the animal equivalent of Britain's highest civilian honor for bravery because of his uncanny knack of sniffing out landmines and unexploded ordnances. It says British veterinary charity for the PDSA on Friday awarded Magawa its gold medal for his life-saving bravery and devotion to duty. It says which has transformed the lives of people in Cambodia. See, most people here, they think this doesn't, oh, who cares? In other countries where they actually have these landmines all over, imagine losing your brother because he went for a walk. Or imagine losing your son or your daughter because they went out to look for something in the field. There are a lot of deaths around the planet from old landmines, and we're talking about WW2 landmines. I just thought this is pretty interesting. On top of that, there was another thing here that I wanted to point out. And it is not here anymore. Okay, I'm going to go over to the chat. Conniption Fit, thank you for being here tonight. Kelly2334. Send AI there, says Kelly2334. Johnny Doom, Papa Tony. We've got Renegade Petey. Again, Renegade Petey, I heard that you sent me a copy of Greenland. I am hopefully going to be getting that tonight. My sister is actually going to be bringing my mail. So hopefully I can actually watch it. I don't know what quality it is, though. I didn't hear what quality. I did watch it in full, but man, it was such bad quality. I don't know what happened during any of the dark scenes. Literally, it was dark. Missy Sue, what is going on? Snowboard, KCH3. And then, of course, we have KDC, thank you for following. New subscribers, as always, if you subscribe during the live show, you will get a shout out. And then DanSean1 says, love to the Foogle fam. Henry Dacus, or Henry Dacus, thank you so much. Very generous super chat of $50. You can always write a message. In fact, with the higher you go, the more message you can write. You could have wrote an article for us. Thank you so much for the generous support of our channel and our independent news agency. Jesus in Meeble, I think that's how you say it. Jesus in Meeble. Great work. Keep it up, Marf. And Dexter retired NYPD. Dexter retired. Don't get that one. Chicky R says Ernest Hemingway had polydactyls, which are cats that have 6 toes. I have one also. They may all be distant relatives. Chicky R, that is so weird. Somebody said that on Twitter, and then somebody else actually suggested, I think it was Stormy, says name it Polly for polydactyl, which means you have 6 toes. Doesn't that mean, I think Oprah's a polydactyl. Don't know if it applies to humans, but still. Christian Moore had numerous cats with extra toes, always good attitudes. No, it's the coolest cat. It plays fetch. It acts like a dog. It barks at the door. It literally will grab things and bring it over. It cups its hand to drink milk. The cat is incredibly smart. Opens doors, does all sorts of stuff. That's why we wanted kittens, and we said 3 years, we should just get her fixed. And then boom, right after we got the kitten, it happened. I am his. Thank you so much for your support, Amanda Kelly. Somebody said a very good suggestion there, and I missed it. Says, hey, Marf, if I can take some time, you can reach out to me if you need help. Amanda Kelly, I don't know if you're talking about the cats. I definitely needed help this morning. And then the umbilical cord was still stuck, and the cat was dragging it around by the umbilical cord. That was scary as hell. I ended up taking floss and then tying it off and cutting the umbilical cord myself because she wasn't chewing it. Who would have known to use floss? It says, Prep for Life says, thank you, Marf, Dex, and Mods. You guys are a blessing. Little Aiden says hello as well. Hope Mama is doing well. Prep for Life, I hope you and Aiden are still making your videos, and I'm super happy to have you in the Foogle fam. Oh, somebody asked, how do you become part of the Marfia? Treat people with respect. Have each other's back in chat. If somebody's being rude, have their back. If somebody calls them a name, it's pretty simple. Just be respectful. That's Marfia. If you want the little badge on DLive, that's a different story. Then you can actually be given one of those badges, or you can get a subscription. That's what it's called over on DLive. It's about $3. And then thank you, Marf, Dex, and Mods. Again, Robert. And then Robert Guan says, hashtag Team Humanity. Keep your chin up and stay close to family. Dusty Digger says, always watching the night sky. Mars has been bright for a few months now. Can't wait to see it brighter even more. And then Trippy, thank you so much, says best show ever. And then Chicky R says, we all need to love each other. Now is the time. Thank you, Marf and Foogle fam. And then Seraphina, thank you again, once again, supporting the show. South Pole and Jenny, I appreciate you and welcome to the fam. Mermaid Cascade says, I am a happy little Foogle, sending love to the fam. Well, if you guys want to protect yourself in a different way, I highly recommend it. Right now, we have a big contest going with EMP Shield. You guys should definitely check it out. In fact, EMP Shield is doing a huge event. They're also going for coolest item made in Kansas, I believe. Dex, I'm totally screwing that up, aren't I? Where it's the
I think it's best invention in Kansas.
Yes, so they are actually going for this invention. One is something that will ground the signal before it fries your device on an EMP. And you would think, oh, this is just some, like, if you heard it was in part of this, you would think, oh, it's nothing. This company is now being contracted by the government, by DOD, DHS, and now officially on the DEMSO team helping protect the Texas grid. I would say it's a safe bet to protect yourself with the same stuff that they are protecting the government with. Nobody thinks about this kind of stuff until after it happens. We are a reactive society. So a blackout comes, an EMP happens. What are you going to do? If your generator doesn't work, then how are you going to power all the stuff that's fried in your house? And if you have a bug out spot and your car doesn't drive, then what good is it? All three of those things can be protected. Go to marfooglenews.com and you can get different devices for different things. And a lot of people don't think about solar protection. If you have a solar system, you can also outfit it with an EMP shield, because if that blows, then how are you, then you have no backup. All right, again, that's marfooglenews.com/EMP. It helps the show and you get a big discount. Make sure to check out the huge contest going on right now. All right. And then let's get into our next call, and then we're going to talk about gun sales surging 80% in 7 swing states. Swing states, just to remind you. Dex, let's get the next caller on. It looks like we have Eric M. No, I'm sorry, Dwayne. Eric M is on deck. Dwayne from Colorado, you're live on Marfoogle News.
Adam, how are you doing?
Good. So you have a video here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, the video, you can go ahead and run through the video, but basically I'm, as the crow flies, about 3 miles from NORAD, but here in Colorado. Anyway, so the sun sets on the west, and basically the sun setting, and what you see when I turn, the rays coming up, basically if you were to take your fist, take a flashlight, shine the flashlight on your fist, and then look at the wall and have a mirror on the wall, that mirror is going to reflect the sun. The earth does not, of course, the earth does not take all the sun rays. It goes under the earth, around the earth, wherever. And so basically the near Earth object it's actually moved. That was more east. It's actually moved down southeast now. But what you're seeing is you're seeing the sun setting on the west. Then when I pan over, you see the rays coming up. And all those clouds are plane farts. The other morning, probably about 3 days ago, we had about like 9 o'clock in the morning, all these planes going around farting all over the place. Well, today, the same thing. They're doing it all over again. And if you know what to look for in a dismal sky, I can still see the rays today a while ago, but if I try and video it, you can't really pick it up. But what you're seeing is that quote unquote near Earth object, it is in existence. Now, the thing is, why do the planes go around farting all over the place? Well, if a lot of people knew that this thing's getting closer and closer, then, and that video is probably about a year and a half ago, and I did another video, like 45 seconds, but I couldn't really pick it up, but I could see it. But just letting you know, that near-Earth object is here. A lot of people call it, capital NIBURU, PX, whatever. It's there. And the thing is, with all these planes going around farting, they're trying to cover it up.
So we've had actually recently some pretty good videos. Did you see the one from the other day of the object in the sky? We ended up having people do the contrast on it and put it on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. The thing is that what you're seeing is more on the east side. Now it's come down in a year and a half. It's come down from where it was, where that video is showing. Now it's come down more to the south, almost to the southeast, like where Schreiber Air Force Base is. It's just to the south end of Schreiber. And so now it's starting to go back towards true east. So why is it going from, east, going south, and then turning around and coming back up towards the east? That I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I would not be surprised one bit if there was something beyond the clouds. To anybody that doesn't know about these clouds covering everything, I would say, look up. I mean, it's pretty hard. I told my friend, I told one of my friends, I won't say his name, but I told him about 3 or 4 years ago, and he had never heard of it. And at that time, I knew for about 5 years that they were doing it. And I said, haven't you ever noticed that they turn into clouds? And he said, no, I didn't. Now he actually does look and he pays attention. But for the longest time, he thought I was nuts. If you look, condensation shouldn't last 4 hours. It shouldn't sit there for literally 5 hours and then turn into cloud cover on a totally clear blue day. It's crazy. You're not crazy for seeing this and saying this, and neither are any of you guys out there. You there? Did we lose you? Looks like we might have lost him. Let's see. Yeah. Huh. Dex, are you there as well? There we
I'm
go.
here too.
Okay, we
Adam,
got it. We
we're
got
here.
it. All right.
Okay.
Sorry
I
about
am
that.
here too.
All right.
I'm here.
Well, continue. And again, is there anything else you want to say besides the video?
Well, basically, people go to sleep, they wake up, they get in their car, they don't look to the sky, they go to work, they get off work, they go home to eat, they turn on the quote-unquote mainstream media, then they go to sleep. They don't look to the skies like we do. So, just hopefully a lot of people wake up. Is it going to hit us? I don't know. Will it affect us? it's already affecting us. So I don't know.
Let me ask you a question. When did you start paying attention to them? How many years or how many months or how many decades?
I started paying it. It's been about 12, 13. It's been 14 or 15 years.
Incredible.
It's been 14 or 15 years. And actually, I was shot in the head by a police officer 13 years ago. And now the FBI is wanting to investigate. Our Department of Justice is investigating the FBI because Mueller was the FBI director. And it was a Caucasian police officer, and I'm a Caucasian American, so it didn't fit their narrative. So you'll be hearing about that soon. But anyway, all right, have a good evening.
All right, well, we will. Hey,
right.
Maybe we'll reach out to you again. That sounds like an interesting story. All right, that was, again, Popcorn Party here on YouTube, or at least this is the channel name. Let's see here. And that was Dwayne from Popcorn Party. Sorry, you guys. I'm just not on point today. Thanks again, Danchin' One. As far as the stuff that is above us, I don't know why. There must be something there, right? There's something greater. Otherwise, why wouldn't they tell us? One thought that a lot of people have is that they screwed up our atmosphere in some way. They screwed up during an experiment or put something there as a weapon, and it screwed up the entire, the entire planet in some way, and that this is supposed to save us. Or there's other, because this is global. It's not just here. It's not just the U.S. It's not just, Australia. It's not here. It's everywhere. And it's always planes. There's a network of planes. It's crazy to think of the amount of planes and the amount of people that are up in the sky at all times. It's absolutely nuts. They call it a city in the sky because there are so many people up in the sky at one time. So what do you think about it? What do you guys think as far as the stuff that goes on in the sky? Do you think it's blocking something, or do you think it's fixing something, or do you think it's blocking out the sun? Let me know. I'll be reading the chat. Somebody said the future is vegan. The destroyer is here. Swap for hire. I'm late, but glad to be here! Exclamation. That's awesome. Thanks for putting Popcorn Party's link, Jay Stone. Appreciate that. In other news, a report says that gun sales surge over 80% in 7 swing states. It says GUN's Bang Bang sales have been rising nationwide for months, but are specifically up in 7 swing states as the November 3rd event closes in. It says Fox News reports the Cook Political Report lists Arizona, Florida, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin as toss-ups in the coming. And they also indicate that New Hampshire and North Carolina could be considered toss-ups too. It also says that this news is on the top of National Shooting Sports Foundation's finding that ammunition sales surged 139% nationally during the first 6 months of 2020. And the surge in swing state sales comes as 2020 witnesses 8 consecutive months of record background checks for gun sales. So everybody is getting weapons right now, and for good reason, in my opinion. There are a lot of people that are basically like, hey, we need protection. As I told you, my 70-year-old aunt and uncle who have never touched a weapon have now gone to 4 weeks in a row of training. They have purchased their first weapons, and they are purchasing more. Get this, though. They wouldn't just purchase a weapon. They wanted to make sure they were trained properly. They're responsible. They went and they're doing range. In fact, for the first 2 weeks, they just tried out all different kinds with proper supervision, tried them, trained out everything, and then picked out which ones they liked the most. It's cool to be able to talk to my aunt and uncle, 70 years old, and they are just now jumping on that bandwagon, and not because they're afraid, because they believe it's what's right now, and they actually do believe. They're not afraid of something happen next, but they feel like they know something is about to happen next. So, do you know somebody like that has, been against? By the way, my uncle has been a part of the NRA for 25 years. Always supported them. Never even owned one. Now they are getting their first weapons. That should say something. People that are completely and utterly some of the most laid-back, responsible people are now going out and getting weapons. Because look at what's happening. Look at what is happening. That's all I'll say. Did any of you guys go out and get weapons during this that have never owned them before? That's a good question. I'd love to see it. I am precognitive, says Rich Magaloni. Coi. What's going on? Marcus81. Yep. 357 Magnum, says Randy Simmons. MG Toe says me too. LOL. Nope. No guns but bow. Lady Green Eyes, you're a badass. Lady Green Eyes is going out there probably with a compound bow or something. Yes. Yep. 2 old people on a couch. Yes. Man, a lot of people just went out and got their first. I like that. No comment. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of those too. April Saffel, what is going on? I don't blame you. I think we should all be armed, personally. The survival of the fittest. Florida Governor DeSantis lifts major restrictions on restaurants, other businesses in push to boost economy. It says that Florida Governor Ron DeSantis announced on Friday that he is lifting major CV-era restrictions on restaurants and other businesses in a push to boost the state's economy. The Republican governor's move comes even as he acknowledged that the pandemic was far from over. It says, quote, "We are not closing anything going forward," he told reporters, insisting that the state is prepared if infections once climb again. It says Florida has long been a CV-19 hotspot with almost 700,000 people infected. Of course, they go this, 700,000 infected. I believe, I don't know what the death rate is there, the exact number, but I want to say it's in the hundreds, by the virus since the pandemic gripped the nation in March. According to the data from the Florida Department of Health, nearly 14K have perished. And then you take, and just being technical, I think you have to take that number and then turn it into whale sounds. Because that's all I hear when I hear these numbers. Whale sounds. Moving on. If you don't want to be tracked or traced or contact traced or have a geofence warrant taken out in your name because your phone was next to somebody who actually committed a crime, then you might want to check out an EDEC bag. These are the same bags they use for evidence bags, say FBI and other agencies. So the bad guy that they just took their laptop from can't remotely wipe the laptop or the phone. Same thing goes for you guys, though. If you put your phone in here, you are off grid. Your phone is no longer sending or receiving signals, which means they cannot penetrate this bag. Again, it's got awesome magnetic seals. This thing is badass. Check it out. You can go to marfooglenews.com/edec, and you make sure to use the savings code Marfoogle. You'll not only get a discount, but you will also be helping the channel. All right, with that out of the way, let's get to the next caller. We are going to be going over to Eric M., who was on deck, now is on duty. Resources for free food. What is going on with this? And then videos regarding smoke and local events. Let's do it. Eric M., you are now live on Marfoogle News. And we'll get him in here.
Hey, Adam. He should be live now. Eric, you're live.
Hello, Adam, Marf, Dex, and the Foogle fam.
All right, perfect. What's going on?
It's good to be here on the show.
Eric M., how are you?
I called in on... Hey, I was on the show one time before on a D-Live show when you started doing the D-Live special shows. Pretty cool.
Which we are.
Your channel has changed a lot. I've been following you for a long time.
That's awesome. Well, what are you calling about today? You said you got some resources for people?
Yeah. So, my channel is kind of like my most popular videos are about how I get free food from like food banks and my church, like low income resources. I try to show people like, even if you're struggling, there's no excuse. Don't be ashamed. You can go and get great stuff that you want and need.
I totally remember your channel now. You eat like a king on almost nothing. That's people have actually emailed me about your videos. You have some really great stuff on here. Like, you have taken a lot of massive effort to put into your channel. I really hope you're already closing in on 10,000. I hope you get there soon, and I hope you surpass that. You're helping people eat. You're helping people get by. You're helping people survive. I really appreciate your content, by the way, Eric.
Hey, I hope so too. My goal is to reach 1 million views by the end of the year, and I think I am on track. I did a recent show about how to cook when the power goes out, and I cooked outside on my back porch with a little gas stove.
Oh, just watch. Just randomly, you'll just go. You'll go viral. You'll hit the right topic, especially doing what you're doing. There's going to be something that's going to be mass shared. I just know it. I feel it for you. I know that you've put in the effort to get there. So, Eric,
I was trying to show.
I'm going to pull up that video.
What the smoke was like in my neighborhood.
Okay, so is that in the video? Okay, let me zoom out here.
Smoky Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I'm right on the border with Spokane, Washington.
Wow, look at that.
I reported on some fires and smoke a few years ago too. That's the last time that it was this bad. It was crazy. But all the smoke cleared and we have real clouds again. Not those clouds that are made in the sky from those funny lines in the sky that make the clouds. Oh yeah, I've seen those.
Well, that is absolutely dark. I mean, wasn't it weird looking at the sun like it was the moon? I mean, I hope people didn't stare at it, but you could look at the sun, see its perfect shape. I mean, when are you able to look at it? And it literally looked like the moon. That was a scary, scary time.
I was at the sun, and you could actually see a line near the sun, in front of the sun, through the smoke. It was pretty crazy. And I had a story about the police, some experiences where they helped me and where I was on the not helping end. So I don't know. I think that the police are really important and they do a good job. I don't know why people would try to fight the police, but I used to drink and drive all the time. I was really irresponsible, and I passed out at a park one time, and the police found me, and they beat me up because I was being stupid. They were just trying to help me, and I woke up in the emergency room in handcuffs, but they sent me home, so that was pretty lucky. But a couple years ago, I saw some footsteps in the snow behind my house, and my motion light came on, and there's somebody trying to break in my back door, and I was so scared. I don't have any weapons, any of those. So I wasn't sure what to do. I called 911, and they were there in a few minutes with a whole SWAT team with assault rifles and shields, and they came and rescued me. I was really grateful.
Do you hear Eric's attitude on it? It's like, even when you got beat up, right today, you can look back and go, they helped me. I was being dumb. I was being drunk. I was being irresponsible. And you took responsibility for you being an ass, and they took care of you. And then when they saved you, you were genuinely and utterly grateful for them coming in and taking out a bad guy. You know what was really crazy? Just our neighbor just had somebody, the Ring cameras and stuff, there's been a bunch of people going up and just trying doorknobs. So imagine seeing on your security camera just people trying to jiggle your door while you're sitting inside. That's terrifying. And again,
yeah,
people
that
are
happened to
doing
me
this because there's
like
no
2
cops.
o'clock in the morning on the dark, snowy night, and oh man, that was one of the scariest moments of my life. But you know what? The other end, when I got beat up by the police, that was also one of the scariest moments of my life. So I don't know. It depends on how you look at it. I think that they deserve respect and that most of them are really good people and they're trying to help people.
Well, I do too. And I don't,
one more thing.
Don't understand why they
the
judge
time I saw your show,
some on a few. Go ahead.
I think you like that guy, Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's who you remind me of.
Oh, I've heard that. Mostly people on Twitter.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah, no. That show is
if you
pretty
want to
hilarious.
save money, I'm all about free stuff. If you want to save money on your EDEC bag, you can make a tinfoil hat for your phone and make one for your Wi-Fi router too. You can use more layers and get creative.
Can you make a video showing people how?
I was thinking about it. Yeah, I was thinking about it. There are other videos out there. I don't do much editing. I just use my phone and YouTube stuff.
Hey, well, Eric M., you have a good night. You know who else did that? EMP Shield actually made a video on how to make a Faraday cage, even though that would technically, basically, if their product wasn't right for you, they were going to teach you how to do it in a different way. That's what's really cool. So, Eric M., you have a great night. Be safe, be prepared, and morph out. Again, Eric M.'s channel will be in there. I hope a lot of you go over afterwards because he really is, somebody said, a lovely, gentle soul. Every time, or I guess now it's twice, I remember his call. It would be awesome if I remembered every single call, but I actually remember, which I don't, and I remembered his. The second I pulled up his channel. I'm more of a face person, but once I heard him, I started thinking, is it him? Boom. Last time, did the same thing. He's helping people. He's spending a lot of time and effort doing it, and the algorithm probably doesn't favor him. So I hope you guys give him some help. Priscilla, Dev Bear, Sly the Coffee, sorry. Mom of 6, thank you guys for being here every night. La Chancia. Is that really La Chancla? La Chancla. Maybe we might name our kitty that. La Chancla. Let's see here. I'm going to open up. I'm having a problem seeing the D live, so I'm going to open this up. Hopefully 42 people followed today. Thank you. We just hit 27,200 followers over on D Live, which is awesome. Let's see here. Veteran Steve. See, I didn't even see you do anything, so sorry. Veteran Steve, thank you for being number 1 right now. KG Stastic, thank you as well for your support tonight. MRSA 1 is yet again on the top leaderboard. And then Shy the Coffee. All of those add up. Thank you so much, Shy the Coffee. And then Turbow. Thank you. Thank you so much. Shout out to Gone Girl, Tower Bear, Chazer152, and Amy R. And, of course, my buddy End Times. Thank you all. If you're not here or whether you're here, thank you guys for being on the top leader. All right, let's see here. All right, so we've got... Okay, cool. All right, well, after all of the negative, we're going to go into the positive. Woman inspired by dog survival during wildfire rallies to donate 7,500 pet oxygen masks, plus she adopted the pup. So this is a pretty cool story. And Dex, this is your if you can choke up Adam section.
I'm trying hard.
Okay, so let's see. I don't see this before. So this is Dex's this is his attempt to choke me up. It says, back in 2017, Southern California firefighters rescued a 4-month-old puppy from a raging wildfire. It says a Great Dane lab mix was placed in an Anaheim animal shelter with hopes of being reunited with her owners. When no family came to claim her, she was put up for adoption. It says that the puppy's soulful brown eyes and engaging demeanor soon won the heart of Deborah Jo Chapuzio. It says a former medical tattoo artist who employed her skills to lend emotional support to burn victims and cancer survivors. Oh, I think one of my friends did that. They removed their breasts, and they ended up having to actually tattoo the parts back on. What a unique job. It says, in addition to her ink creds, Chiapuzio was also a longtime teaching practitioner of animal first aid and CPR. She named the new fur baby Emma Zen because she's as zen as her name. Super mellow, super sweet, easygoing, and very adventurous. Chiapuzio said in an interview, which, by the way, Great Dane mixed with a lab, that sounds like the coolest frickin' mix ever. Look at how big he is and how sweet. And then it says, even before adopting Emma Zen, no one understood better than Chiapuzio the devastating toll California wildfires were taking on companion animals. Along with that knowledge, Chiapuzio said an untapped need she felt destined to fulfill. Chiapuzio started out by donating 17 specially fitted PET oxygen masks to the Anaheim Fire Department. She trained the firefighters on how to use them, but in her heart, she knew there was more to be done. Then, in 2011, Chiapuzio launched the nonprofit Emma Zen Foundation with the goal of distributing PET oxygen masks and offering education in the proper use of to as many first responders as possible. The dynamic duo of Chiapuzio and Emma Zen has since been checking in with fire stations up and down the West Coast. As a result of their efforts, along with some much appreciated help from a variety of donors, including Girl Scout troops, the Annenberg Foundation, and numerous individuals, so far, the Emma Zen Foundation has been able to distribute 7,500 PET oxygen masks nationwide. So it started out as just adopting a pup and doing just a few, and actually physically going and showing these firefighters how to use them. Now she's saving thousands of animals. This is a perfect one for today, Dex, just considering the kittens and everything else. So that was a good one, but you didn't get me.
Yeah, you can't win them all.
You gotta, yeah. I do like the animal stories though, but I'm sure there's going to be more epic ones out there. Either way, guys, check out Earthing through our link if you can. It will support our show. It's grounding. If you don't know what grounding is, ask another Foogle family member. All right, now we are going to go on to our next caller. Let's see here. Looks like we have menacing muskrat. Egyptian mummies discovered, and they are supposed to be opened on Halloween night. No way. Menacing muskrat, you are live on Marfoogle News. Are you there, Menacing? From northern Canada. All right, well, we're waiting.
Hey, Adam, we're working on it.
No worries. Thank you, Dex. Johnny Doom says, pray up, prep up, John 3:16. Much love from the Dooms. By the way, I got your wife's email about the, about Greenland. I'm pretty sure that was it. I think I might have got the link I saw from you guys or your wife. Either way, thank your wife as well. You guys are awesome. I haven't seen them tonight, but Jen lay awake. I hope you're healing up well. And Baldylock's awake. Another couple. And then I know they're not here tonight. BOD and Shan, old school OG Foogles. I hope you guys are doing well tonight too. There's a lot of couples in the group, and I know most of you. Johnny Doom, no sin is too great. Jesus is waiting for you, says Johnny Doom. Kelly2334 says, I just love these animal stories. Kelly2334, I post a lot of them actually on my Twitter. Mama of 6, Dixie Doe, Unicorn Forest, Tower Bear, what's going on? Mercer1, thank you for gifting a sub to Third Eye Open. Those subscriptions are the Marfia badge, so thank you. Texas Connection, thank you for being here. Lots of new followers. Shell Bean, thank you. Jen Legawake is there. C. Griff, and then we've got Baldylocks as well. What's going on? Thanks for saying hi. Mary XX and Susan Grant, Peppermint Jim, and Andy Andy No. What is going on? Chronoholic, Ryan Alter. Is that the actual Andy No NGO? If it is, nice work out there. Good work. Good journalism. All right. Let's see here. Dex, while you work on that, I'm actually going to pull up my Twitter, and I'm going to show some of the stuff that I was going over. I made a huge couple threads over the last few nights. You guys really should check it out. In fact, let me show you right here. If you type in, if you're not on Twitter, by the way, you should be. We actually do show it live. It looks like there's only 7 people watching on Twitter. But when you type in @Marfoogle, so @Marfoogle, you can find all of my tweets. And then when you go over here, you can go to latest and get the latest. And then you can end up seeing some of the videos that we post, everything else. This one is actually a really good one. I can't play that because of copyright. Dang. That's a good one. You guys check that one out. And then I actually did a whole thread last night. Make sure to check out all of those. And then this is a huge one. So this is a big deal. I wonder if this will show. Okay, so I said this page is now gone. Is it me or did official document get removed? What this official website said, I'm gonna say this real quick. What this official document said was that votes were thrown out and put in a ditch, and they were all for one person. The official document that was there, that was proof of it, got removed after it was tweeted thousands of times. And check it out. They got rid of the tweet. They got rid of everything. Any evidence it happened. Thousands of people, including Newt Gingrich, tweeted about it. Anyways, follow that over on Twitter. Okay, menacing. What is going on? You are live on Marfoogle News.
Well, hello there. Well, I have a little bit of a tidbit of Halloween information. Earlier this month, in Cairo, Egypt, there was 27 mummies that were located in a 36 foot deep well. 13 were discovered, and then 2 weeks later, 14 others were discovered, and it's supposed to be one of the largest of its kind. Also, these mummies will be open on Halloween night.
Now, where is this at? Is this at a museum?
It's in Saqqara, Cairo, Egypt.
Oops.
And these mummies are in their original state. They figure that they're between 2,500 to 3,000 years old. So they're in their original state. There's all kinds of artifacts that were found along with them. And it is a discovery that UNESCO and others have just it's the biggest find ever.
Weird. I'm trying to actually find out about this. There's you don't get this kind of news. You know what we should do? We should do a Halloween special with all the stuff that's going on around in October. I mean, there's really some weird stuff happening, but they chose to do it on Halloween.
Just enter in 27 mummies sealed in Egyptian well, and it'll come right up. They basically discovered these early September, and then, like I said, there was 13 original, and then 2 weeks later, another 14 were unearthed. And there's all kinds of information. It's incredible.
Wow. So, and this is basically brand new. It says authorities say that the 2,500-year-old coffins found during excavations at the Saqqara necropolis have likely remained unopened for millennia. So, wow, they get to open these all up at the same time and see, and nobody knows what's inside. That's incredible.
Exactly. And Yeah. The other artifacts that were found along with them are just incredible.
Well, it goes to show you that, we still discover these kind of things every day. There's still treasures hidden out there. In fact, in the sea, there's whole people that spend their lives, going on the bottom of the seafloor because there's stuff from the 1800s, 1700s, 1600s, thousands of years ago. Gold. Oh, man.
Yeah.
What a cool job, though, to deal with mummies.
Yeah, it's going to be something. But to have these opened on Halloween night like that, that's kind of eerie in itself, There's, the Book of the Dead and just bizarre things that are hooked, that are included in ancient Egyptian history. It's got to be mind-boggling, I mean, the Vatican doesn't even, the VAD doesn't even let you know what's in these archives.
Wow, this is incredible. And what if you dug something up like that and you weren't an official person? You just dug something up in your backyard and found something like this. I mean, that is nuts. And they're if you look at the pictures of them, I mean, look at that. That is so cool. Well,
I know.
Well, thank you for sharing this with us, and thank you for sharing it with the Foogle fam. We will definitely update on this story.
You are quite welcome, and all the best to you and Dex, your wonderful family, and our Marfoogle family, of course, and the mods, because if it wasn't for one of your mods, I probably would never have made the call. So have a good weekend, and I think it's going to snow in northern Canada.
Can I ask which mod was it?
Trinity.
Ah, okay. Perfect. Trinity is awesome. Trinity, hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here. Great channel, too. You guys check it out. Thank you, mods.
Oh.
Thank you, mods, for encouraging people. I love you guys. You guys are always doing something positive. All right, well, thank you so much. And just because it's your first time call, don't make it your last. Menacing Muskrat,
okay.
I really appreciate you. All right, and then let's see here. What do you think about that? Halloween opening up sarcophagi. Again, it's sarcophagi. That's the plural, apparently. I did not know that. Sarcophagus is just a lame-o. But sarcophagi is a really cool guy. Well. It's about that time. Red in the Valley says, heck no. Wilson H., sweet caller. Thank you for giving compliments. I love when you guys compliment the callers. It's polite, it's nice, it's the thing to do. Unicorn Forest, Stewie, Angela, 4110, Johnny Doom. You guys are awesome. We've got Glassy Baby, Mad Gal Design. Thank you for your support there. You can always write a message. April Saffel says, the Johnny Doom family loves God, Foogle family, and our brother and sisters in Christ. April, I believe I got your email, yeah. I got confused because you didn't have Doom at the end of your name. Henry Dacus, thank you again for another generous support of the channel. Henry, write something so I can get to know you. Keith Sabrin, hey, Adam and Dex, can you tell us the story of how you guys met and how Dex became your right-hand man? Dex actually helped us with our Discord, which is no longer in existence. Dex actually, before I even met Dex was helping somebody who was actually helping at the time design the Discord, and he mapped it out and was able to do the 50 states, everything. I didn't know how to use the thing. He was retired at the time and had like basically he is super technical. He was able to do what 10 people couldn't do. And then I noticed him and I was like, who is this guy? I didn't know him from Adam. And I was like, basically, I ended up, I think I said I wanted to meet him. Dex, do you remember the first time talking to me?
Gosh, maybe, because the first time might have been with a couple other people on the phone. But yeah, I do recall. And it was absolutely around Discord. Because right after that, we sort of hit it off, started talking all the time.
Yeah, Dex is really funny. You can't even get Dex's sense of humor on the show. But Dex is hilarious. And then he knows how to do everything. He knows how to do absolutely everything. Good question, Keith. Maybe we'll do a show on it. Keith, Dex is half of the show, so I appreciate him so much. So glad that we brought him onto the team. Swap for hire.
I think it was like December of 2019, wasn't it?
So wait, is that?
Yeah.
That's almost 2 years. Wait, no.
Yeah, this December will be 2 years.
Wow, that's insane. Well, thank you guys for sticking with us so long. Swap for hire. Bennu ties to ancient Egypt and has a scary meaning. Osiris Rex does too. I know that. In fact, Osiris, well, that and Rex, those two together, there's a hieroglyph for that. And all of the mummies being opened. Maybe something has some prophetic meaning here. Amanda Kelly says, I sent you an email about your babies with my contact info. Feel to reach out. Okay, that again is very vague. I don't know if you're talking about my real baby or my kitten babies. Uper Viking, but that's okay. Amanda, I assume you're talking about the kittens. A little something for our new six-toed kitty. Love and blessing, says Uper Viking. Amanda Kelly, appreciate it so much. Yes, I was talking about your cat. Use sterilized scissors. Call if you need help. I'm on call 24 hours. LOL, I'll email you my number. Amanda Kelly, that's awesome. And we have vets, we have doctors, we have lawyers in the fam. I love you guys. RA55, thank you for your support. I will be making sure to check out your channel. I'm sure you got something new on there. And then Christian Moore says, please say, Lord, put your hands on a mother with brain cancer. Show your miracle to all of us in these tough times. God, can you help us? I want a kitten. Love to fam, says Christian Moore. KDC, thank you for following. And as always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. Looks like we had several new followers. Little Riv Prees, thank you so much for your support. Glassy Baby, thank you for joining the fam. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now it is officially time for the shoutro. It's not an outro. It's not a shout out. It's a shoutro. It's where I say thank you to all the people that matter most. You. And I do it to the beat. Thank you all for being here tonight. One more mom, the Badger, Lori Magic 5, Loves God's Plan, of course, Pagan 11, Alfred Phillips, Texas Rob 49, I appreciate you. J. Paul, of course you matter. Thank you so much for being here. I said mama of 6 and the Chase 42. Nana Deborah and all love you. Josie 7, all the 7. Gotta bring it like a 7-Eleven. Priscilla and the mama 6. Going back, I love Eagles and Kings. I like that Candy Crider, Geo Huff and everybody out there. Gonna do it just like Oopla. Going back now, scoop ya. Up with my chili J. Go back round and I love you today. drive himself. I appreciate the lemons, Miss Dawn and Tabby Cat and Christina V. Thanks you, thank heavens. Going back round now, doing everything that we talk about. I have no rivals like Grim Survival. I go back around and now I tie you. I even invite you to go with Toxide and an Oxide. It might be toxic, but I'm not walking it. Just like I love beagles, we will show you. Everything is all love around here. Hello, Sammy Lee, and I'm not. Oh yes, Rob Stewart, Yabba Dabba, and Geo Huff. I appreciate all of you coming enough. Surely enough.
I was therapy like going back, everybody knew their feet like I'm gonna go with my and leave like gonna bring it back like D like.
Back to good, Charlie 64, Joe Schmo, Stewie, and everybody knows. Therapy like my nose stop with the just and other August B and the Rust. Nobody's running, Shirley McGovern and Johnny Doom, everybody running, doing everything that we can, we gunning. Mercer One and Terribilis hunting. One more mom and Phil Billy, I appreciate you. And of course my best friend, Susan Donahue. Texas Ride and Pascaline Luz. Gonna take all of us to the moon. Fuggles forever, gonna bring it back now. You gotta do it just like we did way, way back now. Never gonna bust, never doing this. One more mom and everybody going it. Nobody loves you like me. Blue Riff present, everybody's got to see. Nobody loves you like I love you. Thank you all for being here and being you. I have 6 kitties and I'm Amanda. And Snapper be going on plan. Gonna go back doing everything that we can with the Mama 6. Australian Patriot doing the kicks. Going back down like yes, Route 66. Julie Brush, I appreciate you. Alex G, I appreciate you. Regal Rodents, I appreciate you. K Ray, what do you say? Fugle Pie, Fugle Pie, Fugle Pride, Fugle Pride. Fugle Pride's gonna ride until we can't no more. On the news I use Marfoogle News. Chile. But then I went back Terabile. It opened back around, now it's Ile. Oh, now it's all gone, and I can say it's all about the guy named K-Ray. It was bold as the coffee, and Secure Team 10 News and Bob Lazari. About to drive it like farming. Going back round, now we going farming. Maybe a little bit of Animal Crossing. Red in the valley going on tossing. Those Drago 2s like, I'm about to go pay my dues. Mama of 6 centipedes in the pod. I do it just like this, and I got a new dad bod. Tyler from Secure Team. I sent you messages on Twitter. If there's a better way to get a hold of you, please let me know. Terabile going back now. April South going all just like Bobby Buckley. Holly Hunter doing what we do. CJ Blaze, Miss Unleashed. Everyone is on a leash. Lightning McKinney is my biggest fan. He's a girl that turned into a man. Greeny Girl and Uber Viking, Lady Green Eyes, don't be bow and arrowing. Doris White, also harrowing, saving dogs with masks and caroling, around with Christmas and all the fitness. Oh, Donata's the most badass about her business. I'm mobbering, Kitty slobbering, now we mobbing. A Regal Rodents, CJ Blaze, all eroding, cause we corroded. Ecto 1, I know why. CJ Blaze and Mrs. Y. Keeping the coffee going in where we rocking. Pain of Pritchard. I'm walking like Russell Watkins. I'm jelly like Kelly. 2, 3, 3, 4. Thank you, Ed G. Whalen, Dixie Dome, Minnesota Man 44. Veteran Steve, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. You are number 1 tonight. KG Stasic, thank you so much for your support as well. Kelly 2334 in the 3rd place. You are constant. Thank you so much for being in that 5 so many times. Mersa 1 and Toss Dare, I appreciate you. All time, ever and forever, Amy R. Queen of Queens, Sting of Stings. Number 2, all time, Gone Girl 777. Number 3, End Times and Tower Bear, Kelly 2334. And our YouTube, all time of all time, Susan Donahue. Let's get a Susan Donahue in the chat.
I was rocking all the way back down. AK 901, bitch, got it down. Truth matters, and the Jilly J already knew. C-less Avenue, C-less Avenue. Super BC, ha 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 ha. Super BC, ha 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 ha. Julie Brush, nobody knows like Julie Brush. Super BC, ha 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 ha. Super BC, ha 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 ha. One more man and Sherry Williams. Regal road dance, 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 Regal road dance. A to the D to the D to the M. Going back round, now we got them. Regal road dance, 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 Regal road dance. My friend in times, I wish I could find. My friend in times, I wish I could find. My friend in times.
Thank you, Mama of Six, Stewie, Peaceful Waters. Thanks everybody over on YouTube and on D Live. Jilly J, Red in the Valley, Mike Hart, Lori Maju 5, Terrible, Terabelle, Terra I Abelle. I never say it right, do I?
I just wanna go.
I love you guys. Let's make a fresh one with the top, Veteran Steve. This is where I will make a song out of his name.
Veteran Steve, oh Veteran Steve, 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 Veteran Steve, oh Veteran oh veteran Steve, veteran Steve, 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 oh veteran Steve, veteran.
Let's find something that works. Oh, okay, now let's try to record that. See, now we got it.
Veteran Steve, oh veteran Steve, veteran Steve, oh veteran Steve, veteran Steve, oh veteran Steve. Bidi-bop-bop-ba-da-bop-ba-day, bidi-da-ba-da-ba-da-bop-ba-day. Veteran Steve, oh veteran Steve, veteran Steve, oh veteran Steve. Dum-a-dum-bum-bum, oh, dum-a-dum-bum-bum, oh, dum-a-dum-bum-bum, oh, dum-a-dum-bum-bum, oh, Steve, oh veteran Steve, veteran Steve, oh veteran Steve. going back right. Doing everything never. See the color brown, never seen no color all night. Gonna bring your gap dime. I'm gonna bring it back now, doing everything you can. I'm gonna do it just like that. Hey, Russell Watkins. Hey, Russell Watkins. Veteran Steve, oh, Veteran Steve. Veteran Steve, oh, Veteran Steve.
Marfoogle News, the only 9-hour show with nobody on. Somewhere. Have a good night. We're low riding. Thank you for the top contributor tonight, Veteran Steve. Much appreciated. Here's sending you off, Veteran. Thank you, Pam. The one and only Gone Girl. Thank you so much.
Steve, oh, Veteran Steve. Veteran 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 Steve, oh, Veteran Steve. Veteran